Hey, Trip Zero here, and we are in Trip Zero's garage looking at his hydroponic system, my hydroponic system. Don't know why I'm talking in the third person. But we've got a whole bunch of strawberries here, and some starters, and some marigolds, and some barrage, who knows how to pronounce it, eggplants trying again. But I wanted to talk about nutrients and how I'm feeding my plants. First, since this is a hydroponic system, got water flowing down the tube to and from a reservoir, and this reservoir is about 18 gallons, and I dump my nutrients in here, and there's a pump inside that, and a coil. I've got a copper coil to keep it cool. There's the chiller. Chiller cools the lights and the nutrient reservoir, keeps it around 60, 65, up to 70 on hot days. And you see the pump right there in the center of the coil. Creates a nice magnetic field. No, I'm just joking. And that pumps the water through the system, the nutrient-rich water. What do I put in it? Well, this is what I put in it. These are 3 1-gallon containers full of water mixed with dissolved nutrients. So, for example, this is the calcium nitrate. Has instructions on the back on how to mix it. Now, it calls for 12 grams per 5 gallons, 12 grams of hydroponic fertilizer. I use Masterbun, this stuff. I put 384 grams in this 1-gallon container, and that gives me about 8 2-cup servings for 20 gallons. 2 cups per 20 gallons. That's for 1830. I keep labels on here, so next time I make this stuff, I know exactly how much to put in, how much I should be serving my plants. 2 cups per, same with the magnesium sulfate. 192 grams in this one, and for my calcium nitrate I actually mix up double the batch, so this would be 192 as well, but I've upped it to 384, and that's because my tomatoes, with all the fruit that's on them, we'll go see, require more calcium and more nitrogen than your regular serving. I use this cup. I've got it marked to the fill point, which is 2 cups, and I just pour in this, fill it up to 2 cups, dump it in the reservoir. For containers like these, which this one's strawberries, the one outside is, I use just 1 cup of the calcium nitrate while the plants are small, and then 2 cups of these each. These are chemically stable forms. That's why they're in 3 separate jugs. If I were to mix them all, they would have, especially in their concentrated form, which they're very concentrated right now, they would lock out some of the chemicals. They would combine in ways that plants do not appreciate. I will also add some voodoo juice from time to time if my roots need them. This is some biological, some bacteria, some beneficial microbes, things like that help roots develop, possibly by unlocking some of those locked nutrients, or maybe transforming the nitrates to nitrites. I don't know. I'll have to look that up. But so this is how I feed my garage system. We'll go take a look outside and take a look at my other hydroponic systems. This is my Dutch bucket system. These are all drip fed. With little things like this. I don't see yet. This one is a very, very slow drip. And I have some valves on them. I can adjust the drip rate and such. So that one's dripping pretty quick. I may need to readjust from time to time. These nice things. But, so it's very similar to the garage setup where I have a nutrient reservoir, and in there's a pump and the pump circulates the liquid into the buckets, and they actually have a return line, so I'm not wasting water. This is, I have a ball valve which is connected to this tube and runs all the way over to this rain barrel jug that I have collecting rain. So I feed this primarily on rainwater that I store on days like this where it might rain. So very, very cost effective. We don't have secondary water here, so water can get pretty expensive. Let's go take a look at the greenhouse, which is a little bit different feeding. So we're in the greenhouse right now, and this one's slightly different. So I mentioned that once my tomato plants get big, or I should have mentioned, once my tomato plants get big like this and have, you know, up to 5-6 sets of fruit on them, I feed them, I no longer feed them a single serving of calcium nitrate, I feed them double. So this is how it works. I have my nutrient reservoir here, and I pour the liquid in here. It's got some aeration in there, that's why the bubbles are coming from. This is also drip fed, or float valve, sorry, from my rain barrels on the other side of my house. So constantly fed, keep that thing full. There is a outlet that's down here. It goes under the tiles here to this pump, and the pump is on a computer control, but you could put it on a timer. Hey, the fan's turned off. That makes it a lot quieter. And then they go into milliliter style PVC pipes with very teeny tiny holes, and you can see how, you know, the spray pattern that it makes on the soil. So pretty simple. If I were to use city water, I wouldn't have to use a pump, but since I'm using rainwater to save money, I'm using a pump, and that's how I'm feeding both the beds in my greenhouse. In fact, these the PVC pipes connected at the very end there, and it comes back around and terminates here. That's it. Hope that was helpful. How I feed my plants with the nutrients they need. My very, very long tomato plants. Alright. Have a good one. Trip Zero out.